What's going on, Mullen fans? Welcome back for another video. Appreciate you all for tuning in, and I hope you guys really enjoyed your Thanksgiving. There's plenty of things to be thankful for. I'm thankful that I am able to be here another day for my family. But we're going to talk on today the recent pictures that are circulating around on social media. You got some Class 1 vans, and you also got Class 3 trucks. And if you look closely in the back corner, you'll see some IGOs. And if you zoom in a little closer, you'll see a yellow one where that arrow is at, and you'll also see a white one inside what it looks like to be a transport container, possibly maybe a portable charging station or unit. I'm not sure what actually that unit is, but it looks a little sketchy that that white IGO is in sideways, because there's no real way to remove that car from there without damaging. I don't even know how they actually got it in there. It's not really big in size either, so even if it was a container that would hold IGOs, it wouldn't hold but a few more of them inside. But like I said, it's not ideal to have a car in sideways in a transport container. If that really is, if you know what this container is down below, please leave it in the comments so we all are informed. But there seems to be a lot of vehicles sitting in the lot. I believe it's at Tunica facility parking lot, if I'm not mistaken. Cha did post a few of these pictures over on Twitter, so be sure to go check them out. And this brings me to my next point, because that Tunica facility is the facility that Mullen announced a couple months ago that about 300 M1 vans were going to be sent there for final assembly. And by definition, final assembly is the stage in the manufacturing process where individual component parts, often manufactured in different locations, are put together to form the final product. And if you take a look at some more recent photos going around on social media, you'll see that this one has the M1 vans, looks to be Class 1 campus vans because it's that white color. And I'll have a photo here on my right showing you the difference between the two, or if there are any differences at all. But as you can see down below, if you take a first glance at it, you'll think that these vans are damaged in the front, but they're actually not. Here's another view. As you look down at it, you'll see that there's pieces hanging down. Someone with possibly no car knowledge will think that's pieces of the bumper hanging down from the vans. But that is actually what's called crash wrap that's been placed over top of the interior components of the front end of the van. It's used to cover the vehicle for protection, because in the picture you can see that the bumper assembly and the grille components are completely removed from the van. And I'll show that again after I read this text. It says, what is crash wrap used for? Collision wrap for cars is the perfect solution to keep your car protected. This temporary adhesive film can protect your car from rain, dirt, snow, or overspray, and can seal a cracked windshield, broken window, or sprung door. So back to the picture where you can see the crash wrap covering the internal components of the front end of the van. You could also see that the grille and front bumper assembly is removed, as well as the front headlamps. This could possibly raise questions as to why the crash wrap is so worn. You could easily take the rest off and put new crash wrap on. They come in a big roll. Is it because these vans have just finished the painting process? Did they just finish getting painted and have been placed outside for more dry time? Or could possibly these vehicles been shipped in from Muln, which Mullen is partnered with, the Chinese manufacturer? Or these are new shipment of M1 vans that came without grille and bumper assembly because Mullen has resources to get other parts. But also, like I said, they could be part of the vans that have been sent to Tunica for final assembly and just are awaiting the reassembly of the front bumper and the grille and headlights. And I also ran into this research on Elms by Fuzzy Panda, Elms electric last mile solution, which Mullen now owns, is acquired by Mullen Automotive. The research is headline EV Pretender passing off Chinese imports as made in the USA, booking fake revenue of fully returnable products. CEO was James Taylor. I did make some videos in the past where I expressed that I thought that Mullen was advertising leftover Elms vans. The pictures that I showed you guys that are circulating makes it look like something is going on behind the scenes with Mullen's production. as they near the shareholders meeting, but it's also good to take a dive into some information that people won't tell you out here on these social platforms. Now acquired by Mullen Automotive, up at the top it said Elms do not even build their own EVs. Import records show Elms is importing fully assembled Chinese vehicles and trying to pass them off as made in the USA. Secure order book and revenue is actually returnable. The Elms major customer is Randy Marion Automotive. Contract shows that Randy Marion has the right to return all the vehicles purchased from Elms. We think Elms has potentially been questionably booking revenue, overpaid for an idled factory. Capital from their SPAC IPO was used to buy a factory that had been idle and was about to be written down. This picture shows the Class 1 vans with new logos. Each time you see James Taylor up at the top right. That was the CEO of Elm Solution. And up here at the top left, you'll see a Class 1 van with the Wooling logo, Wooling New Energy Cargo Van G100 series. Mullen is partner with Wooling, which is a Chinese EV manufacturer. They also have a photo of the Class 3 trucks in this research paper. This is a photo from January 2022 from a factory visit to Mishawaka, Indiana. And also in this research, it talks about the buyer put right in returnables. You know, Brad from Randy Marion has been coming out recently talking to people saying that vans are paid for, everything's paid for, he's getting paid, everybody's getting paid except for shareholders, of course. Up at the top, it says Elms booked their first revenue and deliveries in Q3 2021. We discovered that the imported Chinese vehicles have actually been sold via an agreement that, according to GAAP, should be considered consignment, which should not be booked as revenue. Elms 1,000 binding orders from Randy Marion are actually all returnable. And Mullen has this same 1,000 vehicle binding order with Randy Marion. Of course, along with some Class 3 trucks orders as well. But if you looked at this little graph here or cycle that says revenue booked, it says Elms ships rebranded Wooling EV50 to Randy Marion. Starts with Elms, which would now be a Mullen logo there because Mullen has acquired Elms. The vehicles go to Randy Marion, and then not real revenue. Randy Marion has put option to return vehicles to Elms for a full refund. Down below me says the buyer put right, returnable 1 year later. According to Elms order agreement with used and new car dealer Randy Marion Automotive Group, all the vehicles Elms has sold to them are actually eligible to return via a buyer put right. Thus, Randy Marion is able to return any unsold inventory to Elms. That's a question I would ask Brad from Randy Marion next time anybody talks to him, is if there were vehicles returned to Mullen Automotive that didn't sell, how many were there? Because that's probably one of the last things shareholders would not want to hear, is that Randy Marion has returned unsold vehicles to Mullen and they're staged in the parking lots, making it look like they're producing more vehicles. On top of that, shareholders holding more shares than management is kind of wild as well. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Mullen is actually producing new vans? Is Mullen really going to be booking legit revenue? And also let me know about that container that I showed you all in the first part of the video with the Mullen eye goes. What is really going on with that picture? If you know, leave it down in the comment section. Hope you guys got some value out of this video. If you did, leave a like, consider subscribing. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm gone.